So when you're trying to figure out whether some place is good or not, where is the first place that you go? Possibly Google, right? You'll search the place out. Like for example, there's a restaurant I was looking at, a little bit new to the area. I hadn't heard of it before. So what did I do? I went to Google, I searched the restaurant, and then what came up? Google reviews and Yelp, right? So as we all know with the wedding industry, reviews are such a huge part of it, right? Referrals, reviews. And so what about Yelp? I mean, Yelp isn't something that we really think of very often, right? When we think about places to go looking for wedding stuff, we look at, we think of, The Knot, we think of Wedding Wire, right? There might be some other publications that you look at or maybe you advertise in or are considering advertising in. But what about Yelp? I mean, it's not usually a primary source, but for whatever reason, it's actually, surprisingly, really important in the wedding arena. So let's talk today a little bit about Yelp. Okay, let's say you're a bride and you are, I don't know, just trying to find a company that maybe you heard about and you want to find out more about them. So you've maybe seen them on Facebook or something, you type in their information. We'll use George Street as an example, right? So here's George Street Photography. Okay, well punch them in there and you scroll down and you got their website at the top, which is always good. Wedding Wire, The Knot, some good reviews there. And then you got Yelp. So where Yelp is really good is when it comes down to SEO. Yelp is fantastic at getting you up there in the the first few listings of your name, and just really popping up whenever someone searches for you, right? So that's really good to know. So Yelp has excellent SEO, okay? But here's the thing, right? There are other options, right? There's Wedding Wire, there's The Knot, right? And if you're just kind of starting out and you're trying to figure out where to put your money, are brides really gonna go to Yelp? I mean, think about it. And not only that, do you really wanna be represented by Yelpers? I mean, what? Anthony Bourdain flat out was like, his quote was, "There's really no worse or lower human being than an elite Yelper. They're universally loathed by chefs everywhere, and they're very picture of entitled in a negative way." Right? So here's the thing. So when it comes to people leaving reviews, right? It's difficult to get people to leave a review unless, what do you think? Unless it's a negative review, right? Because how many times, just think about yourself, how many times have you gone places and been like, oh, I'm gonna give them an amazing review and actually follow through on it? Look, I am the worst at this, right? I'm always like, oh yeah, I'm gonna give you a great review, and then I go home and I got 50, my kids are bugging me, I got 50,000 other things going on and I don't give them a review. But if someone really, really upsets me, right? What's the thing I'm going to do? I'm gonna probably leave them a negative review, right? I don't know. Actually, for me, I'm gonna tell you, since I've been in this industry and had to deal with reviews, I rarely ever leave a negative review. But people are more prone to leave negative reviews than they are positive reviews, right? I mean, think about it. Even just for yourself, right? I mean, you're probably more apt to leave a negative review than you are a positive, which is why when you go to dentists and you go to your doctor or whatever, they're always like, hey, leave us a 5-star review on Yelp, right? So because the thing is that, the thing about Yelp, and here are the issues with Yelp in general, okay? It's great for SEO, and it is a platform for leaving reviews. But unfortunately, when it comes down to Yelp's reviews, there's a far more troubling story. Okay, let's take a look at this. Now I went over to Facebook and I pulled up Yelp. I went ahead and pre-prep this for you for your own, enjoyment, okay? Here's what I recommend you do. If you're on Facebook, go to Yelp and just go on their website. Go on any Yelp website, okay? And then go to your Facebook and just start seeing if their stuff starts scrolling up on your screen, okay? And if it is, start looking at the comments of Yelp. What I'm about to show you right now is going to be is literally just Yelp's webpage. Okay? This is not even their ad. Okay? These are just paid stuff that they just post on on Yelp, right? These are probably, I mean, they could be maybe advertisers that are with them, but this is going to be stuff. I'm about to show you really what's going on with Yelp. And what I think you're going to find is shocking, okay? Watch this. All right, so this is an ad from February 7th. Yelp unveils top 100 dive bars. 35 comments, a bunch of angry people, right? Angry, wow people. Yelp unveils top 100 angry people, right? And the posts go on, and here I'll show you. We'll go ahead and play around with this a little bit. I'm going to show you exactly what I'm talking about. Angry, angry, angry. Now, why are there so many angry people on a post about, you know, about dive bars? I mean, how angry? I mean, I know there's always people who type, you know, it's like that video that you watch, right? Someone hits like the thumbs down button. You're like, how do they thumbs down this thing? It's an amazing video, right? Here's what's going on. And let's just go into some of these comments, okay? Let's view some of these, right? We need to have a way to get the word out that your company has unethical practices. Your app crashed constantly. Good filters reviews because the person making the review hasn't reviewed much on Yelp. Hey, why don't you have reviews enabled for your business? How many 5 stars has Yelp hidden today? Okay, you see a lot of this. So this is the argument with Yelp, okay? There's an argument out there that, or a theory that's out there that Yelp, what's going on with them is that what they're doing is they're pushing. So Yelp has a free version, right? And then Yelp also has a version of them where essentially they're pushing this so if you have a sponsored version with Yelp rather, that they're going to push the content that's good, the 5-star reviews to the top. And if you don't, they're going to keep or leave a lot of the negative stuff up there, right? So the idea, of course, is not to have negative reviews in the first place. But the argument from some of these people, and some of these people who advertise on Yelp, you see this a lot, especially with restaurants, right? Is that, they're going to deal with a lot of people. They're going to get a lot of traffic, and a lot of people are going to, some people leave them good ones, some people are going to leave them negative ones. But what Yelp's doing is that if you don't advertise with them, supposedly, from what the word is, based on these reviews and kind of based on what you see on Yelp, is that, or what you see on their comments and whatnot, is that they keep the negative stuff kind of up there. Sort of, they might have a couple good ones, and they also are going to have a lot of the negative ones up there. Does that make sense? Okay. And on top of everything else, the other problem too is they have something called, I'm just going to pull it up on this listing, this right here, the 336 other reviews that are not currently recommended. Yelp claims to have this like algorithm that can track based on, I don't know all the details behind it, but they don't put all of your reviews up there. They block certain reviews for whatever reason. And this is another controversial thing with Yelp as well, okay? Is that some people feel like they've had a lot of 5-star reviews come through from their clients, but they're not getting up there because 1, they're not paying for the service, and 2, these 5-star reviews are all being pushed into this other review section while all these negative reviews that they have are up at the top, filter with maybe a few good reviews, right? So the question is, now that you know all this, do you really want to be a part of this? Look, if you have a small clientele, a really, really small clientele, and you can really control this, right? You're pretty confident that who you're working with is going to leave you some rockin' reviews all the time, then yeah, I think Yelp is definitely worth it. I mean, and whether you want to pay for that service or not, obviously is entirely up to you. But the thing is that if you're looking to start out, Wedding Wire, The Knot, I mean, and really other places too, I don't have as much experience in other places beyond them, but that's really where you want to start, especially with Wedding Wire. First of all, it says wedding in the title, okay? So you definitely want to start there. And also just, you don't have to deal with this mess, right? I mean, yeah, you can get negative reviews on Wedding Wire and the Knot too, but there's also like a whole like process where like, they'll contact, make sure that, that it's even the right person, right? Or that's even a person, right? I mean, it could be, what if it's like a competitor or something just slamming you, right, for whatever reason, okay? So, they have, there's like a whole like sequence you can go to if you think it's a bogus review. With Yelp, as far as I know, no. And I mean, this is just really kind of a mess, right? I mean, if you're gonna, if you want to have a pretty good abundance of clients, and you don't want to be concerned about, having to go through this kind of stuff, then, I mean, you might find that there are some other, I'm not going to say that you shouldn't advertise with Yelp. I'm just saying that based on this, based on what you're seeing here, I mean, is this really what you want to do? And this is just on posts that they have, which is amazing. Like, this isn't like their ads. If you ever see their ads come up, look for it. Look in the comments section. Look, I mean, it's something. And it's not just one person. It's multiple people screaming about this service saying, hey, this is a problem, right? A big problem. I mean, check this out. I mean, just out of curiosity, let's take a look at Yelp's Better Business Bureau, right? Right, let's go Yelp Better Business Bureau. Okay. Let's see if we can do this. Yelp Better Business Bureau. Okay, so let's just check this out, right? Check this out. Now, the Better Business Bureau is a whole other thing too, but look at this. Current alerts for business, right? I mean, 1,441 customer reviews, just nonstop complaints. I mean, take a look at it. 1 star. But for whatever reason, another thing about the Better Business Bureau too, I mean, this is some other video for another time. For some reason, they have all these negative reviews, a ton of complaints, but they got an A+ rating. Strange, right? Anyway, you get the point, right? So Yelp, I mean, you kind of got to go at your own risk, right? But the most important thing to know out of anything with Yelp is just that it's a risk, right? It's very, very risky. And my personal opinion is I think there are better options out there. I mean, yeah, I mean, we do, I tell you, I mean, just from running wedding companies before, you do get couples who are like, well, I haven't seen your Yelp reviews. I mean, that might be a red flag on the customer, right? Or on the couple, if they're a Yelper. But at the same time, I mean, SEO, you have a small amount of people, then yeah, I mean, I think Yelp is definitely a viable option, but I think there are better ones out there for sure than not Wedding Wire. So there you go. Now you know a little bit of something about Yelp. Use your own judgment out there. Like I said, I think there are definitely better ones, that you could go with. I'm not saying the Wedding Wire and the Knot is the end all be all. There are definitely other, companies you could take a look at as well. But I would stick with wedding industry companies first, right? That's where you want to start. You could possibly build this in around it. But just kind of know when you're looking around that this is what you're looking at when you look at Yelp. All right, guys, thanks so much for checking in on this video. Make sure to hit the subscribe button. Make sure to like the video. It really helps, especially in the SEO and getting the word out about this information. I hope you find it helpful. Definitely leave a comment. Would like to get your, maybe you have better, I don't know, experience with Yelp than I do. Maybe maybe this is really working for you. Definitely put it in the comment. Let myself and other, of us wedding people know, what do you think? Do you like Yelp? Is this something you would do? Is there something you'd stay away from? Have you done this before? Put that in there too. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so that way you know when a new video goes up. We'll catch you next time.